Hey guys, how are you? I decided to do this a little bit different today. I was trying to get Bruno to come on with me, but he didn't answer my message. So here I am by myself. Hey Sifu. I was gonna see if anyone else showed up. It's about 12:30 here. And I wonder if there's a way I can put up pictures in here. Hey Malcolm. I'm not 100% sure how to do this. Hey Chad. Yeah, I've had to resort to videos since they have taken my Facebook. For now, I'm working on that. But I wish I could put the pictures up, the screenshots, but I actually don't know how, guys. Excuse me. Let me see. No, I don't know how. Hey, Samantha. Hey, electrical existence. I am doing well. I was trying to put the photos up of what I wanted to just kind of talk about and say thank you to some people. Let me see if this works. Oh no, not share screen. I don't want to do that. But I don't know how to do it on here. Hey, Dick Justice. Nice name. Sorry, my allergies. Hey, Ben. Does anyone know how to put pictures up on this thing? Solo layout. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I can show you on my phone. So I wanted to just, first of all, say hi, have a presence since I don't have one on Facebook anymore. But I've been being sent screenshots of what people are saying on Facebook and how mad they are about my account being taken down. And I'm so humbled and just overwhelmed by the amount of support that it just blew me away. I'll kind of try to show you this on my phone. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. So this guy, Seuss Shepherds, his farm has, I don't know if it still is, I hope not, but it had been being occupied. And they had literally taken their name and put it over the name of his farm. And I saw this and I started, sending out the information and asking civil defense groups to help, such as the BL, which they made contact with him and assured me that they would assist him, if he needed it. I also wrote an email to AfriForum, sending them the photos and asking them if they knew about it and asking them if there was anything that they could do to assist him before it escalated, to violence, to another farm murder. And the next morning I woke up to an email from AfriForum letting me know that they had driven by the property, that all was quiet at the time, but that they, if he reached out to them, that they absolutely would assist him. So I'm hoping that things calm down. But I got this yesterday and a lot of other stuff I'm going to show you on my phone, but it's keeping you from seeing it. Anyway, oh, there it goes. This is a post that he made. My brother's calling. He's got to ruin it. Asking people to support me, the same guy. So I just thought that was really just blew me away. And also just all of the other posts and comments and just overwhelming support. Like I said, I'm just blown away. This is just some, and I think Janet sent me this. I'll try to get it where you guys can see it. I'm horrible at this stuff. So these are all people's comments and everything on my Facebook taken down. Yeah, they don't want free thinkers. They want dummies. And, here's some more comments. It's just crazy. There are so many guys. So I asked Alice and Janet both and my friend Aria to make posts for me, thanking everyone and letting them know that I'm seeing what they're saying and that I greatly appreciate it. And I think I'm so humbled and blown away by it because, guys, there was a time when I was fighting in the same way that I am now and that I was being attacked even by the people I was fighting for. So crazy. And the reason for that was because of, people like Vegan I Do and all of the false information that they put out about me and that people didn't know. And some of their accounts are accounts pretending to be Afrikaner or Boer and pretending to support this cause. Yet they're not. It's actually the same people that are in these groups that lie and deny everything. It goes so deep. It's just so sick and twisted. But so these people that were actually Jack Stash and his cronies all had separate fake profiles set up to seem as if they were Afrikaner or farmers and that they were in support of the issue, right? So these people who had, infiltrated themselves into the good people, they were saying horrible things about me too. So in them pushing all of these things, it was a mess. So therefore, I'm fighting a fight against people that I'm trying to help. And it was really bad for a while. So now what I've seen is, first of all, these jerk-offs being exposed. And if I ever want a statue for anything in life, guys, that's it. If I ever want credit for anything ever to do with anything in South Africa, it will be exposing these little weasels for what they are, because they deserved it. And so they've terrorized so many people for so long. So I will say that I want every government honor, a statue, any kind of honor that I can have for exposing these criminals, scumbag liars. I'll take that, but nothing else, just that. Alice clued you in. Kudos to her. She's the best friend. the best friend I could ever ask for. PocketNet instead of Facebook or Twitter. I will check it out. I have a lot of other different accounts. I have Gab, and I have a huge following on Gab in a group. I also have Minds, and my Minds following is blowing up. It's growing so fast. People have donated so much. You donate tokens on Minds to boost posts, right? They've donated so many tokens to me, I guess because of, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to get out there, that I have like 200,000, and it only takes one token to boost a post 1,000 times. So, I mean, people just, they're just flocking to the account. So, and I also have, of course, YouTube, but I will check out PocketNet to see what it's all about. And you know what, guys? I didn't start out with Facebook. I hated Facebook. I wouldn't join. The only reason I joined Facebook was because they kept attacking my Twitter, and with so many followers, and I was reaching so many people. Oh, it did. Let me change it to standard definition and see if that's better. Okay, guys, sorry. Is that better? I won't do that again. I tried to change the definition from high definition to standard, and it didn't do well. So we'll just leave it like this. But why would people in South Africa ignore a genocide when it happens in front of their eyes? Jennifer, I have asked myself this many times. I ask myself, are people really this evil, or are they just really this ignorant? And there's no way that I can see what's happening from across the world, but that these people don't see it from there. And what's very telling for me is that if there truly were no problem, or if they truly thought there were no problems in South Africa, there would be no need to create fake accounts, pretending to be white farmers and pretending that everything is okay. If there was really no problem, they would not need to lie and cover up and attack people, good people, try to make them lose their jobs, and try to incite police to arrest them or incite violence against them. So what I've come up with is they really just are that evil, that they know there's a problem, and they do everything they can to cover it up. Terrence, thank you. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. That's very sweet. I'm going to put up her comment because I can't, Ben. I can't go to Facebook. It's cold in Cape Town. It's cold here too. It's a vindication. A vindication for what? What's a vindication? Sifu. Hi, Jackie. It was so hot for days and now it's cold like winter. That's odd. That's very odd. We got a cold front yesterday, so I'm freezing. And I told you guys I'm about to go and see Alice. And where she is at, it's very cold. So I'm worried I'm going to freeze to death. Because I'm a Texan. We have very short winters. And I don't like the heat that we get in the summer. But I'm used to the crazy humidity and the heat. Jennifer, so she says, but if there is a target on whites, how do people not recognize it for what it is? Listen, they do recognize it. These people have more than 600 laws against them just for being white. So obviously the government recognizes it. They know what's happening. And listen, I've read the framework of analysis 1,000 times, the UN definition of genocide, and everything that's being done to them is laid out in this definition of genocide. There are 8 factors. They fit into all 8 factors. So world leaders know this is happening. They're doing nothing. There's no way that I know more than my government knows, with all of their resources and CIA and FBI, and they know what's going on. Why they're ignoring it is beyond me. But the whole point is, the only way to force any government to recognize what's going on is to become so many and so loud that they have no choice but to recognize it. So only in numbers, and I'm speaking of people all over the world, which I'm seeing happening. People are pissed. People are speaking out. People are demanding to know what the hell is going on in South Africa and why have we never heard of it? Why has it never been on the news? Why, for 25 years, has this been kept from the civilians of the world? Yeah, the UN is complicit. They know exactly what's happening. Jackie, we never get rain in summer, but it was pouring. Well, thank God for the rain, Jackie. Thank God for the rain. No, the majority of South African people are not evil. That is not what I mean. It's very complicated to explain. So the white minority make up about 4.5 million, about 8% of the population. They have about 600 laws against them just for being white. It's becoming nearly impossible for them to gain employment because of racist hiring policies, such as the BBEE, which says that in South Africa, they can only have a 7% white workforce, no matter of qualifications. There's also affirmative action for the 90% majority. Okay, the white minority also pay about 90% of the taxes. As if that's not enough, the government has passed legislation changing their constitution, Amendment 25, to allow for the seizure of white-owned land. And this does not only apply to land. This applies to anything they want. Anything on your land that generates a monetary gain, they can take. So it's like someone showing up to your house and saying, well, I don't really have a house like this, but I really like this house, so you need to leave because I can't buy a house like this. It doesn't matter how long it's been in your family. It doesn't matter how hard you worked for it, how many battles your ancestors fought for the land. You need to leave. Imagine that. And there are people that are not white that are against all of this and that are horrified by it. I've spoken to some myself, but this is a problem that not enough people of color or Indian people or other minority groups there are speaking out, and they are needed. They are needed to speak out because it's not effective for only whites to speak out against all of the corruption and everything taking place in South Africa beyond the murders and the land expropriation and the incitement to violence and genocide by government officials against the white minority. The problem why people can't or don't want to see what's going on is white guilt. White guilt, white schmilt. I have none, and neither should anyone else. Brainwashed. 600 laws, Jennifer, yeah. So I think 200 of those laws are based on employment alone. So right now, it's nearly impossible for a white engineer to get a job as a street sweeper in South Africa. And I'm dead serious. I mean, all the problems with Eskom, their power grid is on the verge of complete collapse. And when I tell you on the verge, I mean a knife's edge of complete collapse. This means their power grid will go down. There will be no water, no power, nothing. So the government, you had one job, okay? You couldn't even keep the power on for the country. Instead of upgrading the infrastructure and using the money that was allotted for maintenance for these power stations and Eskom, they pocketed the money. And they keep borrowing more and more and more, and nothing gets done. So now they're at a place where they're at load shedding stage 6, I believe. It's and if it goes down, there will be horror like no one can imagine. It will be like the purge, and the violence, which is already horrifying, will escalate to a level that people won't be able to wrap their minds around. Same thing happened in Zimbabwe. Look what the country's about today, total regression. Yeah. But this will be worse than Zimbabwe on a larger scale. And Sifu, you're right. Anti-white crimes throughout the West are being covered up and ignored. They're being lied about. They're being covered up. They're having made excuses made for them, and this is part of the problem. What is the MSM? The mainstream media? Right. So what Jackie's saying is the majority of their mainstream media outlets are state-owned, right? So they don't report honestly. They report what the state wants them to report, which is nothing to see here. Everything's fine. And that's not true. Communists have destroyed everything in South Africa. The country is bankrupt. This breaks my heart because we're talking about a country 25 years ago or 26 years ago that was a first world country. There was a time when the rand was, I believe, almost equal to the dollar, the American dollar. The military was one of the best, most sought after in the world. The men that fought in the military were the most sought after in the world. They were wanted to fight in every war for every allied country, and there was a reason for that. And now, look what they've done. I posted the video of Avigdor Eskin, and I'll just say the truth. If you guys haven't seen this, go to my Instagram and watch it. It's Brandi, BRNDI.TX. And I posted this video that Avigdor Eskin made. And he is from Israel, but he was an anti-apartheid supporter. I mean, he did not believe apartheid should end. He fought for this. I've had conversations with him back before they took over. I mean, he fought against the takeover. And he made a video, and he literally says the truth of everything. And I mean, when I tell you the truth, he says things because he's Jewish, he can say them and get away with them that I could never say. I would be banned from every platform. But I posted this video of him speaking the truth on Instagram. Right, Linda, I understand and agree with that too. 95% made in China. That means that China is stealing our jobs and money is going out of South Africa. There's 13 police stations for the Chinese. Linda's absolutely right. And this is one thing that I've focused on is, so the white minority there, their guns have been confiscated once. They want to do this again. Yet, and they're subject to all these BBEE laws, even if they own a business, they have to abide by all of these BBEE quotas, or they'll lose their business license, lose their livelihood. Many people have had their businesses destroyed by being forced to take on partners because of the BBEE. One of my best friends is one of these people that had their business destroyed. Okay, yet the Chinese are there. The whites have no protection. I mean, they're not allowed to have any protection agencies, and they should have a government protection agency. This is a part of genocide. But the Chinese have their own police stations. They're also not subject to BBEE laws and hiring policies. They don't have to abide by these. Right, I understand, Jennifer. Zimbabwe was a little bit different. The USA asked us to go to war against the communist. Okay, so he says the majority of MSM is not state-owned, but like in Europe and the US, they report according to political agenda. Well, thank you for that, because I was under the impression that many of them are state-owned. But if I'm wrong, I stand corrected. It is, but I don't know. I had it posted to my Facebook, but I don't know where. You can probably find it on Facebook. Type in Avigdor Eskin speaks on South Africa or something like that. I tell you what, even if you don't have Instagram, I'll post a link to that post that I made in the information section of this video, and that way you can go check it out, because you'll still be able to see it. Hello. Right. I agree with this statement. And also, if anyone watches Tainted Heroes, they will understand how this all came to be, and some of the more complicated dynamics that people don't really understand. Like the fact that the land is not stolen, and what they did to basically turn the world against the National Party and cause so much chaos and just horror that to get the international community's attention. Tainted Heroes explains this actually very well. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's very good. The ANC, Jackie says, the ANC got Cubans coming to South Africa to help to help teach them to fix their trucks. Those were built in South Africa, and we do have people with expertise. Yeah, but they'd rather go to Cubans. Jackie, I understand this well. Johann Erasmus, which I'm sure you guys have seen the videos. He explained something to me when he was in the military, that the what are they called? The trucks that went into the mines, and then there would be explosions, right? And they were gas-powered truck vehicles. I forget what he called them, but they created diesel ones, and these were the very first ones in the world, because diesel doesn't explode like gas, so the soldiers wouldn't be just completely burned and things like this. There are plenty of people with the expertise in South Africa to be able to do a lot of things, including fix Eskom. Yes, it's going to take years, and it's going to take a lot, but there are people there, white people, with the ability to get it on the right track. The ANC will not allow them to do this. Just like what Jackie said, they don't need Cubans to come in to work on their military vehicles. They have men there with the ability to do this better than Cubans. They don't want their help because they're white. And it's sad. I mean, whites aren't even wanted in the military, which is why their military is completely just a joke, inadequate. I laughed when I saw the story that Cyril Ramaphosa said he would assist Iran, send troops. What troops exactly? Because I think he's forgetting that he doesn't have the same, military that was there during, in the Anglo-Boer War or any of the other wars. And you have a completely inadequate military. You don't have proper military equipment. You're not going to help anyone. Jennifer, I don't know exactly where you can find all of the laws. I mean, I would have to research it, but someone in the comments probably can tell you. I would say the best place to go is Afroforum and look at it. I have some information on this in my files, which I have tons of, but unfortunately it's not all organized at the moment because I'm forced to not keep anything on my computer because it comes under attack so often, about 9,000 times a day. So I have it all on removable hard drives, and it's not organized. Shouldn't be hard to find. Rattel, that's it, Martin. Thank you. The Rattel. At Cowbell, open a DLive. What's a DLive? I used to live inside a Rattel. My site is in the description. My site doesn't have information on these 600 laws. If you doubt me, go find the information. It should not be hard. If you're just trying to be annoying, then I'm done. You can find the information. It's out there. If I can find it, you can find it. DLive does live streaming. Should I check it out? It's a bit like Twitch. I've never used Twitch either. I usually use OBS with Skype or whatever. I'm not using OBS right now. Right. And I believe what Michelle says. They won't have whites in there because many won't stand for the theft and the corruption. And it will mean an end for the free-for-all. Not good for ANC business. Very true. Okay, I will check it out. I can't take this. So you're going in timeout. And, even though this is 100% right, what Michelle has to say, listen, I know there was a lot of corruption within the National Party, right? And there were things that they did that were not right. But it was a first world country. Everything was operational and it was working. So I'm not saying it's right to be corrupt or steal money or anything else, but something was working where nothing is working now. Well, that would probably not be a good idea to go to war against the USA. I've done the numbers, and we would never invade South Africa or I don't believe, use military force against South Africa. because it would literally less than 1% of our military force could decimate the entire military. I believe that if anything, any intervention were to come, it would be as peacekeepers. This is my hope, is that military would be sent in as peacekeepers to remove the criminals that have captured South Africa and are destroying everything. But a war never happened. Martin, this is an interesting question. So, since my New Year's resolution is to be honest, and I also at the same time, guys, look, I don't wish to bash anyone. That is not my way. I don't like doing it. I actually don't even like speaking out against people unless I know that they are just completely bad and have bad intentions. So Martin says, Brandy, why does the other people talking about the cause of South Africans have problems with one another, like loving life and so on? Martin, I can't speak for other people. I can speak for myself. Although I do believe Scott from Loving Life to be trying to help, and I do believe him to have good intentions, and I don't ever try to keep people from watching his channel or anything like that. I do not agree with some of the things he does or says, and I have a history with him. The reason that I don't support him or promote him is because I went on to Scott's channel when he was celebrating 4,000 subscribers and spoke with him. After that, myself and Shiro began working on legal filings with the help of other people as well, many other people, okay? So I didn't like making videos. I didn't want the attention, and I was very nervous and uncomfortable. So when we would make these filings, and if we would receive a response on a filing, Hero and I would speak, and he would say, what do you want to do? Do you want to make a video about this? Or do you want to give these to Scott? Or what do you want to do? The majority of the time, I would say, just let's give them to Scott and he can speak about it, because I didn't want to. I mentioned this in a video I made a while back. I was upset about something that happened. I wasn't saying it to be offensive or try to attack anyone. It was just part of the story. Because of this sharing of information that no one else had, Scott's channel very quickly went from 4,000 to 20,000 and beyond, okay? And this is a direct result of the information that he was sharing, that we were feeding him, that no one else had. When I mentioned this, instead of just saying thank you or, not saying anything, because I wasn't trying to bash him, he chose to go on his channel and bash me and call me a liar and everything else. So my response to all of that was one post. And what I did is I went back and I found an email, because I have all the email chains where I shared the documents with him, the information. And I found an email where he sent me a badge from his channel when he reached 10,000 subscribers, thanking me and saying that he could have never done it without my great contribution to his channel. And that was my only response. Also, there's one other thing that has to do with Alice. When it was announced where the proceeds from her book would go, which were Tukumsvang at the time, instead of doing the right thing and having Alice on, he allowed other people to come on and announce where the proceeds from her book were going. And in my mind, because it was Tugendbank and it was connected to Steve Hofmeyr, they were doing this for attention. And I was furious because the lady that wrote the book, you didn't invite her on. So, I mean, there are just things like that. And as I said, I believe him to be trying to do the right thing. This is a personal issue as far as I'm concerned when it comes to him. But I think this is just my opinion. The main reason that people have problems with other people is because I've seen so many people lose their way on this mission, right? And they forget why they began. They get caught up in how many subscribers they have, or their self-worth, their value, and their importance becomes how many subscribers or followers they have, right? And I think this is maybe just human, but they have made themselves unavailable to the people that need them. And as I said, I've seen many people just lose their way and become so caught up in the attention that they forget why they began in the first place. And this is something, I'm not a perfect person, but I just happen to be a person that does not like attention. And it's a double-edged sword for me because I don't like attention, but attention needs to come in order to get the message out, right? So I think this is what keeps me grounded, and it keeps me humble and keeps my feet on the ground, because I would really rather have none of it. But I know that I must in order to be effective. So just every day I wake up and I try to keep my feet on the ground and remain available to the people that need me, because those are the people that I began this for. And those are the people that I'm going to end this with. And that's my explanation. You know what? A lot of people don't know. And as I said, look, I'm not trying to bash anyone. I'm just simply stating a truth as I see it, that happened to me. That's it. Poseidon and Red Ice are on D Live. Sifu. You're right, they haven't. But I see something amazing happening every day, and that is they are coming together, and I see people changing. I see their mindset changing. I see them becoming stronger, not so hopeless. I see something amazing happening. So I'm gonna have to write this down, see if there's a D Live. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this in before I forget it. D Live. And I need to get on this, you said. Okay. I need to get to my laptop. Okay, I'm gonna join dlive.tv. Gotcha. Okay. So anyway, guys, I guess I got a little bit sidetracked. Anybody who wants to join, I'm gonna join and see what it's all about. But I got a little bit sidetracked. But my purpose for coming on was to thank everyone for their just overwhelming No, she's not been, for their overwhelming support, love, and defense of me when, they are attacking me and taking down my social media for no reason. Alice is not in South Africa. She is legally in America, and I'm leaving to see her on the 25th, and I cannot wait. South Africa, it's against the law to have a whites-only club, but it's okay to have black doctors, lawyers, business. Yeah, I know. It's the same in America. It's not illegal, but it's everyone else has their group or whatever, and whites can't have it. I lived in the USA for 7 years and 10 years in Hong Kong. Even staffers abroad can stand together and support one another. Yeah, but Martin, like I said, I see change. I see, from the outside looking in, I see something amazing happening. And that is everyday people are coming together more and more. Maybe you can't see it because you're there, but I do see it. I see it 100%. And I have belief and faith that when the time comes, the people will come together and put their differences aside. Right? This is so true. This is so true. Sadly, we need to see it ramp up to allow for justified intervention in the eyes of global governments, many of whom facilitated the fall of South Africa. So this is true, and I will tell you guys a little something I've not spoken on before. So, as you know, we filed in every high court in the world. We also filed in the U.S. on the Gupta's, Zuma, ESSA. Specifically, there was one filing that we filed against the EFF and Julius Malema with the ICC. They only accept 5% of cases based on merit. This filing was bittersweet because they did accept it. It does have a case number, but it sits on ice, basically, in a file. And they wanted us to send any further incitement to murder and genocide, and also evidence of the results of that by Julius Malema and the EFF. So what they told us is we provided enough evidence to prove that it's a problem, but they want it to get worse. Thank you, Jackie. It's okay. I don't let any of it get to me. Listen, I'm not here for likes, subscribers, even though I appreciate everyone here that listens. But for me to think that these things are the most important things would be losing my way. I'm here for the people that I began this fight for, and I'll be here till the end with the same goal. And this is what has really brought people to support me, is that actions speak louder than words. So it doesn't matter that people attacked me. It doesn't matter what they said. Through consistency and keeping my word and trying to always speak the truth and never give false hope or never try to give false information or anything like that, people see for themselves. Words are like the wind, but actions speak. Right. I realize it's not just whites suffering, Malcolm, and I do say that often. All minority groups are suffering. With that being said, I do speak to some good people that are not white, but I'm also viciously attacked by some of these people in these other minority groups who do horrible things to me, say horrible things about me. So I'm sorry, but I just have little sympathy or empathy where some people are concerned because of how I'm treated for trying to speak out in a way that will help everyone. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. Trust me, I know of all the Soros pawns. I'm attacked by them every day. And they're paid. And I know. Yeah, it's so funny that every woman first wants more people to die, or it's like they're not going to show up until it's too late and no one's left. It's ridiculous. And Kelbell says whites do most of the volunteering for non-whites, and I know this to be true as well. It's called human nature, okay? And Malcolm, this is for you too. When you said that, it's all minorities. Here, I would never think twice about helping anyone. I don't care the color of their skin. I never thought anything different, right? If I saw a lady on the side of the road, an older lady or whoever that needed my help, or needed the jacket off my back, I don't care what color they were, I would give it to them. I would stop to help them. This is the way I was raised. This is how we are. We don't not help people because of the color of their skin. We help people that are in need. And I never believed any different, and I really still don't. But South Africa is so different. And it doesn't matter what good you try to do or how much you don't hate someone, they hate you anyway. And it's almost like they want you to hate them. They push you to a point where you almost feel like you're becoming like them. And they do this with their just blind hatred of everything. I can't be horrible. What does that mean, Ben? Soros is evil. No, Kelbell, you're absolutely right. So, and that is a huge difference, right? I want to put that up. So you always see with the whites stepping up for non-whites, even in South Africa, but you never see non-whites stepping up for whites. Very rarely. I mean, you don't see them going to the squatter camps and trying to help the children or anything like that. And this is true too, so I want to put this up too. Because I spoke to a young man by email the other day, and this is basically what he told me. He was very intelligent, and he, has been through college, and he sent me some information, and I had a conversation with him. And he's not white. And when I spoke about the things that I speak about, he acknowledged all of it and acknowledged being horrified by it. And I told him more people like you are needed to speak on everything, to tell the truth. Change can't come unless there are many. And this is what he told me, that he knows a lot of people like him, but they're afraid. Equality is a false god. They want us to be diverse in everything except diversity of thought, okay? Which is the only diverse that really matters. Oh, I understand, Linda. I completely understand. I would never dare stop and help anyone. I was just trying to say that until I began and experienced, the level of hate myself, even from afar, this is just what I always believed. Of course, I live in a different place and things are much different, so I'm able to do those kinds of things. But I never thought about people not being able to do that. But I mean, I absolutely know you're not able to. You can't do that. You'd most likely be killed. Yeah, women should be protected by men. And this is a good topic too. I was speaking about this the other night. Our men have gone from warriors, conquerors, and builders of civilizations to beta males who wear skinny jeans and don't even know what gender they are. Our women have gone from proud women who are having children and, being a wife, a mother, to hairy armpit feminists who have a mental disorder. That's the only thing I know. And this is our downfall. I mean, these beta males are who I want fighting for me. No, I'm good. I can take care of myself. And if we don't at least teach the new generation not to believe all of this crap, not to believe the TV, not to believe everything they say in school, but to be proud of who you are, to be strong, to defend your women, your children, and to fight back, I don't see a very bright future for us. And I too wish the men would stand up. And I know there are still those few men out there who are good men and still do protect women and stand up, but they are very few and far between these days. And Jackie, I like this comment. She says, "That's what we've always been. There are good ones too, meaning there are good in the other races. I don't hate them. That's not who I am, but I hate what they're doing. Those who know the truth are petrified to come out and say it." And I am the same, Jackie, because I struggle sometimes. And I've reached out to Mike. You guys know Mike. It speaks out. And one day I was just very upset, and I said, "I'm turning into them. They're making me who they are. They're making me have hate in my heart, and I've never been that kind of person." And he just told me, "No, you'll never be that. You're not that. You're just angry." And that's normal, but I also hate what they're doing. And I wish more people would say the truth. So, when she found out where you came from, what do you mean? From South Africa? Leftists have a mental disorder, that's all I can say. Julian Bond's cousin, a black man, laughed at me, said white people were afraid of living in a black world. I reminded him that blacks didn't want to live in a black world. This is a brilliant comment. This is true. And the majority of people that suffer from the astronomical black violence and crime rate across the world are other blacks. You. Yeah, I agree with Jackie too, Linda. Maybe we need to turn in. You know what, Kelville? I often say this because, I've studied the art of war in many books. I love to read. I even read, things that I don't agree with because I learn something from everything. And, number one, not all wars are fought on the battlefield. And number two, if you want to defeat your enemy, you have to be willing to be as ruthless as they are. So the mercy you receive is the mercy you give. I have seen none, not for women, not for children, not for elderly. That's a hard pill to swallow, to have to resort to those tactics. But should there ever be a war, it will be necessary. Yeah, Jackie, I totally agree. Hate is a cancer. It consumes and makes you sick, which is why we're seeing so many sick, twisted, evil things coming from South Africa. And people hate what makes them feel small. People hate what makes them feel inferior or less than or whatever it may be. This is the reason that they try to destroy history, tear down statues, ban flags, is because it reminds them of their failure. So the government, the ANC, it reminds them that they can never accomplish what was done before they came. Never. They can never do anything but destroy. Right, Martin. I completely agree with you. And like I said, that's a hard pill to swallow. And not everyone has the stomach for it. But when it comes to fighting for your very existence, for your children, for your women, and if you lose, what those results would be, then that can change a good man into a man willing to do anything to protect his family. and his people's existence. Right. And so many Black people are suffering, but they're not suffering because of the white people. They're suffering because of the ANC and the ANC lies and false promises. So I acknowledge and I understand many more than whites are suffering, many more of every race, but they're not suffering what the whites suffer based on skin color. This is why I speak for the white minority, because of the brutality and the horrors faced by them based solely on skin color. I agree with you, Sifu. If you don't care about your people, no one else is going to. We're the most hated people in the world. So if we don't stand up for each other, no other race is going to do it. It's not hate to love your people. I love my people all over the world, no matter where they may be, and I will fight for them. No one else is going to fight for them. I already knew that. Suncleave. Thank you, Gregory. I think that he made an excellent point. IQ tests are actually a very good indicator of how one will cope with a complex modern world. They're also very well worked out. Yes, you're absolutely right. Gregory, Dan Root told me a while back, I think I spoke about this, I don't know. There's a book from the early 1900s they translated from French to English. And it was about the cruelty of the African culture within their own culture. I mean, within their own communities, you know, and just that this has been, you know, going on for, I mean, forever. That it's just a cruel way of life. And I don't know the name of the book, but it was pretty interesting. Yeah, that's right. You can't have a first world nation with an IQ of 90. And Kelbel, you're being very generous because we all know it's not 90. The greatest thing you have in this world is your own people. Yes. And it's perfectly natural to be attracted to and drawn to and want to protect people that look like you. This is ingrained very perfectly into our DNA. It is how civilizations survived since the beginning of time, by sticking together. This has only begun to change when the globalist leaders of the world started to attack traditional families and started pushing multiculturalism and all of this crap. Okay, this is very natural. There's nothing wrong with it. I have never, as a person, I hate no one, but I've never been attracted or found men to be attractive that don't look like me, that are not of my race. And I don't say that out of any kind of hate. It's just something that was naturally inside of me, that I was only drawn to those people. I've had many WhatsApp groups. I don't participate in groups anymore because, hey, WCAM Studios, how are you? I don't participate in groups anymore because of my concern for the safety of people there, okay? The groups are infiltrated and they try to get people's personal information. And this is my reason for not participating in any groups, because they do it because I'm part of them, and I will not put people's safety in jeopardy. Thank you. Yeah, I would be. So I was in a place where my internet was so horrible, and I couldn't live stream. But I don't know if you know, but these stupid idiots have taken my Facebook account down with, whole crapload of followers. And now I'm in a place where I have, really good internet, so I'm able to do this. And I'm also going on with, I said this yesterday, with Mark Collette in the UK on the 29th to speak. I don't think it's going to be on video. I think it's going to be more like a podcast, but I am so nervous about this. But definitely. So email me at crisis South Africa at protonmail.com or conservative Texas woman at gmail. And then I'll give you my contact info and we can set it up. But yeah, I would love to. I've watched a lot of your videos, and hats off to you for doing that in California. I speak from a place where everyone else is like me, and I don't have to worry about going outside with a MAGA hat on and being maced or attacked by Antifa, which I would shoot them anyway, but whatever. But yeah, absolutely, I'm in. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Put it on your calendar, spam. Okay, guys, we all know that the Muti killings are insane and ridiculous. And we've seen what happens, You have my Gmail. I've been getting stalked and trolled. It really sucks. Listen, I'm attacked to a degree that I've been targeted by sex traffickers, one living in South Africa, one living in Oklahoma, trying like hell to meet me. And for what? They didn't want to be my friend. My bank account has been attacked so many times. I mean, they say the most horrible things about me. It's just crazy. But I'm winning because I got all of their personal information, and I did to them what they do to everyone else. And I will continue to do it until they stop. I agree with you, Jackie, 100%. Yeah, speaking of Muti, guys, I just posted a video where a whole sanctuary of lions had their faces cut off and their paws cut off. It was horrifying, okay, for Muti. These people believe that practice Sangoma believe that eating the heart of a farmer gains his knowledge. And part of the reason for the horrifying torture that lasts up to 8 hours, drilling of hands, knees, feet, cutting of Achilles tendons for the parents to watch their children be tortured, gang raped, is because these people believe that to cause a man the most pain imaginable gives them muti, special power to be invisible, I guarantee you, if the bullets start flying, they will very quickly realize none of these things made them invisible. Okay, guys, I hear my son waking up. I have got to run, but WCAM Studios, please send me a message. I actually greatly look forward to it. I love your videos and your humor. So yeah, just email me. I'll send you my phone number and we'll set it up. Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate this. And it's okay. Everything has a balance. And even though it was really bad, it's balanced out and the playing field is level now. My Instagram, Peter. I don't know the link, but this is how you can find me. Oh, I told you I was going to post a link in the information section, a link to the video of Avigdor Eskin, and I will do that. D-Live, I won't forget. Okay, guys, thank you. And I'm going to go right now and post that link to that video. So everyone needs to watch it because it's everything that we can't say. So thanks so much, everybody. And I'm thinking of you. And as I said, my body may be in Texas, but my heart is in South Africa. Bye-bye.